Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon,
I
sir.
was good afternoon, Chitrika. I was just waiting until almost everyone joins, but we have only 19 students. Good, right? Um, we have been talking about reported speech, which we should finish today, and this is our third and the last meeting on reported speech. During the first meeting, we had a long briefing and introduction to the rules of converting direct speech into indirect speech, tense changes, pronoun, adverbial changes, exceptions to tense changes we discussed. Then we also reported statements. Then during the second meeting, we reported questions, yes, no, and W with questions, because things are. With that, I have given you some work to be done at home. And today we are proceeding to reporting imperatives, so commands, requests, and I will just make some final closing remarks and finish it off. That's our plan this afternoon. So hope you have done your homework. This one, item H, E. Read your answers as a warmer before we proceed. Rewrite each question in indirect speech beginning as shown. Atul said, "What time does the film start, Peter?" Atul did not ask this question from me. Atul asked the question from Peter. We are an outsider. We have just seen this, heard it. So Atul asked Peter, read. Read what you have written at home. Hang yourself if you haven't written. No one is reading answers. No one has done this. Were you present last week? Yes or no? What happened to you last week? පාඩමේ පිළිවෙලට අද තුන්වෙනි දවස පළවෙනි සහ දෙවෙනි දවස් දෙක පිළිවෙලට හිටියේ නැත්නම් හෝ මේ දැනුම මීට පෙර ලබා නැත්නම් ලබලා නැත්නම් අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම පළවෙනි දෙවෙනි දවස් දෙක පිළිවෙලට ඉඳලා තිබිය යුතුයි නැත්නම් තාමත් අවුල් මේ හරියට එනකොට මේ සමහර අය හිටියේ නෑ තමයි මම දන්නවා ඒ හිටියේ නැති බව මම තේරුම් ගන්න මේක අනවශ්‍යයි ඔබට මේ දැනුම පාසලේදී ලැබිලා තියෙනවා ඒ හින්දා ඕක හිටියේ නැති උනාට පේපර් එක ලියා ගන්න පුළුවන් කියලා ඒක නැති වුණාට අපිට ඉංග්‍රීසි පුළුවන් කියන හැඟීමෙන් ඉන්නවා අය ඒකයි මගේ assumption එක ඕනෑ සිස්ටමැටිකලි හිටිය අත උස්සන්න අද තුන්වෙනි දවසට රිපෝටඩ් ස්පීච් එකට පිළිවෙලින් හිටපු අය කවුරුවත් නැහැ Can you hear me? Raise your hands if you are present for last week lecture and week before last. June 11th, 18th. Not 18th, but 19th. June 11th, June 19th, and today is June 25th. Nobody was present for all the three. Those who were present for the first lecture, raise your hands. I can drive a horse to drink water, but I can't make the horse drink. What the teacher can do is only that. We can drive the horse to water, but we can't make him drink. Drinking is left to yourself. So you haven't done it? Did we discuss W8 questions reporting last week? Yes or no? Right. So let me skip the exercise. You can, if you haven't done it, it's no use. You can, you can do the assignment and pass, don't worry. So I'm continuing from where I stopped. Right. We have finished reporting W8 questions so far. And the last stage of the lesson to report requests and commands, that means imperatives. Command is command or request. It is an imperative. This is how imperatives are reported. So the doctor said, please stop smoking. In this, when you leave out please, stop smoking is an imperative. Imperative is the commanding mode of a verb. When you say, I go to work every day, there go means action mode. I go to work, yanava. But when I say, when you command somebody go home, go is commanding mode, that is called imperative. The imperative is reported with an infinitive. Infinitive means to plus the verb. So pronoun changes and tense changes are valid, but the pronoun changes and the adverbial changes are valid, but there is no tense change because the imperative has no change. So the doctor said, please stop smoking. Is report doctor asked me to stop smoking. Because it is a request, because we have the word please. In traditional English, we use the verb asked. So the doctor asked me to stop smoking. So if you leave out please, it becomes a command. The doctor said, stop smoking. It is the same. But here you use the verb told. And the doctor told me to stop smoking. So if it is a request, you use the verb asked. If it is a command, you use the verb told. But this distinction is not very much observed in today's English, but this is traditional. So you can use it interchangeably. And to stop, infinitive, to plus the verb base. Stop, imperative. Direct, imperative. Indirect, the infinitive. He said, please do me a small favor. This is a request. He told me, to me, please do me a small favor. Me means my friend, he. No other changes. So how do you report this? It is please. That is a request. So you say, he asked me to do. Me means him, a small favor. He asked me to do him a small favor. If it is a command, you use told. This is a command. Show me your driving license, said the police officer. Command. So you use the verb told and say, the police officer told me to show. Me means him. Your driving license, my driving license. The police officer told me to show him my driving license. So this is how you report commands and requests. In other words, imperatives. So this is negative. She said, my friend said, don't call me again, please. If you say, call me again, she told me to call her again. Don't call means negative infinitive, not to call. So she told me, or she asked me not to call. She asked me not to call her again. She said, don't call me again. No, please. That is a command. Instead of asked, you use told. The other things are the same. She told me not to call her again. Not to call her again. So this is how you report commands. So go back to your handout and this activity. So report the following commands and requests. There are 20. Do the first 10 first. We'll give you maximum 10 minutes. Take a piece of paper. Write the repeated version of the command or the request. I ask you to do it. So exactly 10 items for the time being. Andrew, meet me at my office tomorrow. කාටවත් එල්ල කරලා නැති කල්හි මේවා ඔබට කීවේ කියලා හිතන්න. Andrew told me. Jessica told me. Nelly told me. But here Fred did not tell me. Fred told the other boy, Larry. So you are a third party. Here Anne told Mary, not to you. Here Tom told you. New president told the MPs. Pial to Naina, Susil to Neil, Susie to Neil. But Victoria said that to you. So some statements, so some commands have been given to you, but some commands have been given by somebody to somebody else. You are not a party, you are a third party. Identify the situation and convert correctly, appropriately. Change adverbials, change pronouns. There is no tense change. You use the infinitive, to plus the base verb. Okay, start. Right. Can you read? Can one of you go on reading the 10?
Andrew
Andrew
told
told
me
me
to meet him at his office the following day.
Good. Andrew told me to meet him at his office the following day. because it is the first one. Let me type. Andrew told me to meet. M simple. Me means Andrew. Him. At my office means Andrew's office. His office. Tomorrow is a confusing adverbial. The following day. Very good. Thank you. Number 2, Jessica told me.
Jessica told me to write a text message to my client.
To write a text message to my client. Good. Who said that? 148. So Jessica told me to write a text message to my client. Nelly.
Nelly asked me to help Peter's sister.
Nelly asked me to help Peter's sister. Fred.
Fred told Larry to be careful of what he said.
What he says. This is subordinate clause. What he usually says. Good. So Fred asked Larry to be careful of what he says. Correct. Good. Thank you. And Anna to Mary, open the window.
Anna told Mary to open the window.
To open the window. Anna told Mary to open the window. Come to my house at 8, please.
Tom asked me
Tom
to come
asked
to his
me
house at 8.
To come to his house at 8. Come to his house at 8. The new president.
The new president told the MPs to serve the mankind without party distinctions.
Good. To serve the mankind without party distinctions. The new president told the MPs to serve the mankind without party distinctions. 8. Pial told Naina.
Pierre
asked Naina
Naina
to dance with him.
Pial asked Naina to dance with him. Anna to Mary. Susie to Neil. Susie told Neil to fetch
Susie
Sandy
told Neil to fetch Sandy from the station.
from the station. Good. Victoria.
Victoria told me to check my emails.
To check my emails. Victoria told me to check my emails. Good. That is positive command, the request. Then the negative. Don't play. Don't forget. Don't shout. Write it in a piece of paper and tell me. Read. Karen told me.
Karen told me not to play football in the garden.
Very good. Not to play football in the garden. The teacher told the students.
The teacher told students not to forget their homework.
Good. Not to forget their homework. Mike told me.
Mike told me not to shout at Peter.
Not to shout at Peter. Vyvan told Cyril.
Vyvon told Cyril not to talk to his neighbor.
Not to talk to his neighbor. Dennis told me.
Dennis told me not to open the door.
To open the door. Marcel told me. Not to sing that song. Not to sing that song. Jane told me.
Jane
Not to
told
watch the
me
new
not to
film.
watch the new film.
Not to watch the new film. Walter told Anne.
Not to ring him on Sunday.
Not to ring him on Sunday. Lisa told me.
Lisa told me not to fly via Paris.
Lisa told me not to fly via Paris. Jamie told her children.
Jamie told her children not to eat so much junk food.
Junk food. So there's no big game in that. You just use the infinitive. No tense changes are relevant, applicable. So that concludes the basic lesson. Reporting statements, reporting yes no questions, reporting WH questions, reporting imperatives. So that is what is meant by reported speech. So far, so long, we have converted direct speech into indirect speech. That is the normal thing, the practical thing that we happen to do in everyday life. When somebody says a direct sentence, direct speech, we have to listen to that person and report it, carry the tail. Now you can do it. But I have given you this exercise. I'm giving you 7 minutes to do this. Here there are reported speech sentences. You convert them back into original speech, the direct speech. This is not a natural practice. Naturally, we convert direct to indirect, but this is converting indirect into direct. But when you read reports of conversations, you understand the meaning. Means mentally you convert the reported version back into original direct speech sentence. That's how you comprehend, you understand. Therefore, I'm giving you this artificial business. Graham told Tom he would see him the following day. What is the original sentence? Can you tell me? What do you think Graham told?
Graham told Tom, I will see you tomorrow.
So Graham told Tom, I will see you tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow. That is the sentence. So I need this sentence. I will see you tomorrow. So there are 7 more sentences. Do it. I did a small survey for the first lecture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Only about 10 students are present today. 10 students who have been present for the first lecture on the 11th. So if I read the numbers, 156, 45, 49, 143, 129, 353, 160, 142, 141. Maybe I have missed some, but these are the ones who have been present for the first day. Others have been absent. So lesson, that is okay, but if you are not sure of this, there will still be confusion. It is a sad state. Number 2. Can one of you read the direct sentence? Pauline told the children their swimming things were not there.
Pauline told children, your swimming things are not here.
Okay. Children, your swimming things are not here. Fine. David told me my letter had arrived the day before. What did David tell me? Tell me the sentence only.
David told me his letter has arrived yesterday.
Hmm.
Your
David,
letter.
David told me, this is what I want. My letter had arrived the day before. So my letter means your letter. එහෙනම් කියන්න ඇත්තේ මොකද්ද? David told me තමයි. ඒ ටික අපි අයින් කළා දාමු පොතාවකාලිකව. මොකද්ද කියන්න ඇත්තේ? Your letter. Complete please. Your letter arrived. Had arrived is past perfect, reverted back to simple past. Your letter arrived yesterday. That is also important. Huh? Shirley told Larry she would phone him that evening. So what did Shirley tell? Shirley කියන්න Larry, I
will phone you this evening.
I will phone you. Very good. I will phone you this evening. Margaret told to phone her the following day. Very easy.
Margaret told John, phone me tomorrow.
Phone me tomorrow. Phone me tomorrow. Bill told Stephen he hadn't been at home that morning. He hadn't been at home that morning. So what do you think Bill tell? I
haven't been at home this morning.
As you say this morning, a past tense adverbial, it can be well present perfect or simple past. So here it is, I wasn't. Good. I wasn't at home this morning. Tim told Ron he was leaving that afternoon. Tim said,
I am leaving this afternoon.
I am leaving this afternoon. I am leaving this afternoon. Christine told Michael she had lost her phone the night before.
Christine told Michael, I have lost my phone yesterday night.
Very good.
Night.
Last night, but because last night is there, you can't say I have left. That means it is originally simple past. I lost. Good. I lost my phone last night. I lost my phone last night. So this confusion is that even past simple is converted to past perfect. Even present perfect is converted to past perfect. So when you have a past perfect sentence in the indirect speech, you have to think of the use and decide whether it is simple past or present perfect originally. Yeah, that is a confusion. Right. So with this, I conclude my talk on reported speech. But before I wind up, I have to
Sir,
highlight.
excuse me.
Yes.
Could you please repeat the last sentence again?
What is that? Yes, wait. This one. Michael told
The eighth one.
she had lost her phone the night before. So that means I lost my phone last night. I lost my phone last night. She
Okay,
said
sir.
that
Thank you.
she had lost her phone the night before. Okay, thank you. Good. Welcome. So when the students don't seem to be interested, I usually get fed up. So we have discussed the lesson. Finally, as a passing remark, please be careful of this. Now, whatever is said and done, whatever the theory that we have discussed regarding tense changes, adverbial changes, pronoun changes, whatever the differences that we discussed, the theories that we discuss in reporting questions, reporting statements, reporting commands, and so on, you also have to sometimes be very careful of this concept as well. Now, a sentence, an utterance, has a structure. It may be a statement, it may be a question, it may be a WH question, a command, it has a tense, it has a structure. But the sentence also has a function, service that it does. In many cases, the structure and the function are the same. But there may be some cases where the structure is, the function is different from the structure. Then, in such cases, you have to report according to the function. What is important is the function, that is the meaning. I hope you did not understand my Greek. Let me go through examples. What is this structure and function? My friend said, I did not come to work yesterday and I came to work today. My colleague asked me, why didn't you come to work yesterday? Why didn't you come to the office yesterday? So when you look at this question, in terms of structure, it is a question. Vyuheng meka prasnya. Because my friend wants to know the reason for my absence yesterday. Therefore, in terms of the structure, it is a question. Actually, he wants to know the reason, so he's asking a question. The structure is a question pattern, WH question. The service done by this sentence is asking a question. The structure and the function are the same. So we report this as, my friend asked me why I hadn't come to work the previous day. Didn't you come is simple past tense. Didn't you come should become you didn't come, then I hadn't come. But if you look at the second example of mine, I meet a friend in the street, in the town. We fall into a conversation. We go on talking, having a chat for about 30 minutes. We still want to have a chat. After about 30 minutes, my friend says, we are standing here in the sun and talking. Why don't we go for a cup of tea to a hotel nearby? Now, if you look at this, this is also a WH question in terms of structure, like the earlier one. Why didn't you come to work yesterday? WH question, because he's asking a question. He wants to know the reason why I did not come yesterday. But here, the structure is a WH question. But what is the function of this statement? Is my friend asking a question from me? Yes or no? Does my friend want to know the reason why I don't go for a cup of tea? Or is there a situation where I don't like to go for a cup of tea? Or is there a situation where my friend has invited me to a cup of tea and I said I don't go to that hotel owner is angry with me, or I don't drink tea or anything? No. What is this situation actually? Is my friend asking a question from me about why I did not go for a cup of tea? No. Although you say, why don't we go for a counter question? It is a suggestion. Therefore, in terms of function, he is making a suggestion, suggesting. Now, if you report this as a question, that is wrong, because it is not the meaning. My friend asked me why we didn't go for a cup of tea. This is wrong. You are killing the meaning. Therefore, you have to report this not as a WH question, but as a suggestion. So if I were you, I would report this as my friend suggested going for a cup of tea. That is the justice. So if you report this as a WH question, you are not doing the justice, because that is not what the original man meant. You break the sense. Is it clear? So you have to pay attention to this fact also when you report things, and use any technique that you like from your own pocket, whatever is said and done in the theory. Use your own pocket. Is that clear? Is what I said clear?
Yes, sir.
In the function again. One more example. You are Sarat. Oh, I am Sarat. Sarat, I have a friend. This friend has a girlfriend, newly found girlfriend, Mary. I have never seen Mary. One day, my friend comes to my house. Oh, my friend, I meet my friend in the town. My friend is with his girlfriend, Mary. And my friend says, I'm Sarat. My friend says, hello, Sarat. Meet my girlfriend, Mary. Meet my girlfriend, Mary. This meet is a command. So in terms of structure, it's a command, imperative. But what is the function? Is my friend commanding me or asking me to meet his girlfriend behind his back? You would like to meet your friend's girlfriend by secret to your friend. But my friend is not asking to do that. Therefore, though this is a command, this is not a command. What is the function? Can anyone tell me, please? In terms of structure, it is a command. But in terms of function, it is not a command. What is it? What is it, children? It is not a suggestion, but it is something like that. As I have never met this new girlfriend, Mary, my friend has come to my house with Mary, and my friend says, meet my girlfriend, Mary. Then what am I going to do? Am I going to meet Mary by secret to my friend? No. I may shake hands with her and say, hello, Mary. Then Mary might say, hello, Sarat. So what is that service? What
It's
does
an invitation.
Invitation or introducing? මේ වාක්‍ය කීමෙන් මගේ යාළුවා මට මේරිව හඳුන්වා දෙනවද? එහෙම නැත්නම් මට හොරෙන් මේරිව හම්බෙන්න එයාට හොරෙන් මේරිව හම්බෙන්න කියලා ඉන්වයිට් කරනවාද?
Introducing.
Introducing. එයා කැමති වෙන්නේ නෑනේ. එයාගේ girlfriend හම්බෙනවට මං එයාට හොරෙන් ගිහින්. එහෙනම් meet my girlfriend Mary කිව්වට he doesn't expect me to meet his girlfriend behind his back. This is only introduction. Therefore, the function is introducing. So if you report it like this, you are entirely wrong. He told me to meet his girlfriend Mary. ආසා ඇති නමුත් ඒක වැරදි. ඒ හින්දා you had better report this as he introduced to me. So do the justice. The biggest problem is preserving the original sense, the meaning. So that is the last thing I want to highlight. Theory is done. Whatever is said and done in the theory, you have to use your common sense. The strategic competence is the most important competence. So use a good strategy. One more example to finish. She came to office late and she said, "I'm sorry I'm late." It's a statement. You can report it like she said that she was sorry she was late. We don't report it like that. By saying, "I am sorry I am late," what did she do? She apologized. Therefore, this is an apology for being late. Therefore, I would report this as she apologized for being late. So remember, this is how you might have to report in certain cases. Although there is a distinct theory, you have to think of the function of a sentence as well. Some sentences, some questions are not questions. They may be invitations, requests. Now, when I say, imagine that I am interviewing you to be employed as an English teacher. So in the interview, I ask you a question. Can you speak English? So how do you report? Well, the interviewer asked me if I could speak English. But I come to your classroom. The classroom is hot, but the fans are off. I say, "Can you turn on the fan, please?" That is also a question, but I'm not asking a question. I'm making a request. Therefore, you should say, "He requested me to turn on the fan." So remember, we have this problem, this distinction. So you go to see a friend. යාළුවා කියනවා, "Why not have a cup of tea?" It is a question in terms of structure. But is my friend asking a question from me? No. When you say, "Why not have a cup of tea?" It is an invitation. So I would report this as he invited me for a cup of tea, or he invited me to have a cup of tea, or he offered me a cup of tea. So that is what I have to say at last about direct and indirect speech. So for this, I have given you 2 exercises in the handout, which you should do at home. But I'm sad because our students are not regular. So from those who, for the first lecture, how many students attended? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20, 22. So for the introductory lecture, the first day reported speech lecture, 22 students have participated. Today also we have 17 students. But out of these 17 students, those who participated in the first lecture are only several. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So only 10 students from the first lecture are here today for the last lecture. The middle lecture, I can't find it out because that was it takes time to check. So this is a bad practice. It is an unhealthy practice, ineffective practice. It is bad because you will not gain anything. පළවෙනි එකට ආපු අයගෙන් 10 දෙනයි අද ඉන්නේ. ඒ 10 දෙනාම මේ ගිය සුමානේ හිටියද දන්නෙත් නැහැ. එතකොට මේ පාඩම දවස් 3ම හිටපු අය කී දෙනෙක් ඇද්ද? එයින් ඒ අය විතරයි මේ පාඩම හරියට ග්‍රහණය කරගන්නේ. හැබැයි මේවා ඉතින් කවුරුත් මේ කියන්න ඕන දේවල් නෙමේ ඉස්කෝලේ ඉගෙනගත් දේවල් මේවා ඕනේ නැහැ. මේ දැනුම ඔබට තියෙනවා කියලා පොඩි ආකල්පයක් තියෙනවා නම් ඒවා මිස් කරාට කමක් නැහැ. හැබැයි කවදාවත් අවුරුදු 22ක ඉතිහාසයේ ඒ දැනුම එහෙම ආවේ නැති ඇයට ඒ දැනුම තියෙන බව papers වලින් ඔප්පු වෙලා නම් නැහැ. ඒ හින්දා don't curse me. assignments වලින් ඔප්පු වෙලා තියෙනවා. මොකද assignments කරන විදිහ මන් දන්නවා. papers වලින් physical papers වලින් කවදාවත් ඔප්පු වෙලා නැහැ. ඊටාම අඩු ලකුණු තමයි ගන්නෙ. ජීවිතේට හීනෙන්වත් අහලා නැහැ වගේ. ඒ නිසා you are adults, you must decide what you do. Understand? Don't be a typical Sri Lankan. Right? සාමාන්‍ය මේ අනිත් ශ්‍රී ලංකන්ස්ලා වගේම ශ්‍රී ලංකන් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න එපා. ඒ හින්දා තමයි මේ රටට මේ කර්මය උදා වුනේ. Right? It is a man-made karma, not a natural phenomenon. So we all Sri Lankans are, vast majority of Sri Lankans are responsible for this. Right? It is the Sri Lankans that is who are reflected in the parliament also. Therefore, rulers are your selections, yourself, ourselves. Therefore, don't be just another typical Sri Lankan. Sri Lankans are not honest. They are not committed. They are not dedicated. They are not loyal. They are thieves. Everywhere there are thieves. So this is also a theft. This is also a theft that you have to understand. So with that note, I invite you to do this item H. අර වගේ කම්ප්ලෙක්ස් ප්‍රකාශන දීලා තියෙන්නේ. මං verb එක සජෙස්ට් ඒකට අනුව ඉස්සරහට ගෙනියන්න. Paul කිව්වා, Susie, can you remember to buy some bread? It is a question. Can you remember? But actually Paul is not asking a question. Here Paul is reminding Susie. Therefore I said Paul reminded. Then you complete. Paul reminded Susie. Paul මතක් කෙළුවා සුසීට to buy some bread. Do it nicely. Use your own head and do it nicely. I know that you don't do the activities. You hadn't done the W8 question activities. Therefore, there were problems. Not only you, even the previous group people, some people had problems. You were not regular in attendance. So you reap what you sow. එනිසා ඔබ නෙලන්නේ ඔබ වපුරන අස්වැන්න. I don't want to say sermonize here because I am no longer the coordinator of the course. Therefore, I don't want to preach. Here I have not suggested the verb. මං යෝජනා කරලා නෑ verb එක agreed, the promised, the invited, the apologized කියලා. තමන්ම තීරණය කරන්න මේ මොනවද කියලා. And said, Mary, meet my friend Gil. What is this? So use a suitable verb and do it on your own. If you want to master this problem of reported speech, which is very useful and usual, a common practice in everyday life. So after doing that, I have given you a tute part. So I don't think that the students will do this because when they don't do those exercises, or when they belittle or underestimate those exercises, when the students think that they are too smart, so I don't think that they will do it. Those who do can do this. I have done the needful because teaching grammar should be done systematically, briefing, thereafter exercises, thereafter activities. When you do this, you will master is no argument. I am neither learning to drive nor driving to learn. So those who want to really improve yourself can do this. Others can keep quiet. I am not least bothered about it. So in this case, I have given you, in both the dialogues, you are given a role to play. After that, I have asked you to do something. For example, in this dialogue, you are Ajit. You are Nalini's brother. Nalini is your sister. Nalini has a friend called Takshila. Takshila is from Colombo. You are from Anuradhapura. So this girl comes to Anuradhapura by train, but your sister Nalini cannot go to the station. She's not well. On behalf of Nalini, your sister, you go to the railway station to welcome your sister's friend Takshila. You have never seen Takshila. So this is the conversation that took place between you and Takshila at the railway station. You guess that it is Takshila, you go and talk to her, and you recognize each other, you explain the situation, you take her home. After coming home, your sister asks you to report the conversation at the railway station. She might say, hey, recognize my friend. Was it difficult? Then you have to report the essentials. Write the report in the form of a small paragraph. And the second dialogue is also the same. You work in a business firm. You are an executive. You have got a chance to go to Japan for a business conference sponsored by the company. So yesterday, you went to the travel agent to talk about your visa arrangements, air ticketing, and so on. Today, you have come to the office. Your boss questions you, what happened yesterday? Was it successful? Then you have to report what you spoke with the travel agent. This is the dialogue between you and the travel agent. So report the essentials to your boss. Write that account in the form of a paragraph. If you don't know how to write a paragraph, a report like this, I have given you two examples. This is the report of a dialogue, a paragraph, a report of a dialogue between one mother and son. So look at this. There's another report. This is the report of a dialogue between two university students, Peter and Suzanne. So read these reports, then look at the previous dialogues and convert them into reports like this. If you don't know how to write a report, look at these model reports and do the activity. After that, you look at this report and convert that into a dialogue like this. You look at this report, second one, convert them into dialogues. Dialogues liyan hätti dan නැත්තම් මේ dialogues දිහා බලා ගන්න. Reports liyan hätti dan නැත්තම් මේ reports දිහා බලා ගන්න. So convert the dialogues into reports, convert the two reports into dialogue. That is just an activity to see whether you can do it in real life. The maximum I can do as a grammar teacher. So you will practice these things in report writing, writing minutes and so on in your writing lessons, speaking lessons and so on and so forth. And that concludes my talk this afternoon, sharp 1:59. Any questions so far? So if you do the activities at home and if you want me to discuss the activities, I will take some time. I will not hesitate to take some time and do it. Otherwise, you can look after yourself. So there are only 15 students. That shows the least interest in the students regarding the regarding your own learning. Okay, thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Welcome. You did well. You supported, you answered. There were some active members as well, but most of the students are inactive.